All right, here we go again. Buckle up.
You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right. So again, we don't know what went on. Either side could be true. Both sides could be at least partially true. But the fact is that the allegations were not within the jurisdiction and purview of human resources. You could make a finding one way or the other, but you're looking at violations of law and fear of loss of life. That can only be determined by law enforcement. Law enforcement could even defer making any move. That's why management should call. But again, obviously, from this point forward, again, you'll hear me out of an abundance of caution. That's where you should have been from the beginning. Again, there's vandalism alleged, harassment, terroristic threats. So if you put law enforcement in, the person that's making, the employee that's making the complaint may actually back down. And that would tell us that something's going on there. He could have still made the complaint. It could have been true, could have been false. I'm sure Las Vegas Police Department can get to the bottom. Obviously, he did kill the person. So I would believe whether it was harassment or not, there was something there that the police department would have found. And again, the person, you're not doing the person that killed the other employee. The employee that killed the other employee, now he's got to go to jail forever, theoretically. Now, if he can prove that he was defending himself, if the vandalism occurred, that's enough for the law enforcement to get involved. I think if it had gone to another level of management in the city, they both may have been fired. Or at least, just depends. Yeah, because you could have been like a 50-50. Like they're both telling parts of the truth. As far as changing someone's shift, I don't, maybe that was the answer. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But again, you have to get to the core idea that there's violations of law and you're a city government. You have to do something. And again, not every violation, but this has gotten to the point where there's a series of alleged activities that could lead to violence. So again, that's why when you get to that point, you call the police department. A manager calls. Maybe you have an assigned detective that they assign that studies these type of things or has investigated these things, so they could better advise you on what you should do as a city government. Again, the attorneys should have been city attorneys. You need to put that. So what you'll probably do is when you draft a memorandum, and you may have something in place, but you need to put a memorandum out there that explains it if you do have something in place. But a city attorney should have looked at it, and a law enforcement officer, like a detective in the Metropolitan Police Department. Because that's how city governments are supposed to run. I'm not telling you to run around telling on each other or overly prosecuting or investigating, but you got to set a standard. And when you're looking at violence, workplace violence, obviously something should be done investigatively to figure out, is there a possibility of workplace violence? What I'm hearing from Las Vegas Police Department, they would have recommended terminating the one employee. But again, from their perspective, again, this is a psychic type of thing. From their perspective, they still have to monitor it to see if if he would come back at it. And they could have stung him. There's so many different things they could have done. Again, depending on how busy they were and what they found when they investigated. All right. So again, it's a useless, or not useless, I guess, but a tragic loss of life that was preventable. Most likely. Again, there's other things. Again, it depends if the investigation would have revealed enough, and it probably would. Obviously, there was some sort of intention for harm. I mean, I was harassed horribly by the Marshal Service. I never touched anyone. They were stalking me and all sorts of stuff. At a time period when other deputies were telling me about in Phoenix, I think it was, or the District of Arizona, there was they were stalking coworkers, alleging investigations of coworkers, but they were playing that deep state CIA game, which ended in death for many deputy U.S. marshals and other government employees. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.